Welcome, true seeker friends, to a wonderful journey through time and space. Today, we present an inspiring story about the one who brought incomparable light and love to this world. A story about his life, ministry, miracles, and passions who have changed the course of human history. A complete biography of Jesus' life, ministry, miracles, and passion, all listed in chronological order. Ministry of Jesus. Once upon a time, a baby was born in Bethlehem, a small city in the land of Judea. His name was Jesus, and in him, the light of divinity shone brightly. In the stillness of the night, angels announced the joyful tidings of a new birth. Hymn to the shepherds in the field. When Jesus was born, the world set time according to the Roman calendar. The Roman calendar is based on the year the city of Rome was founded. By this calculation, Jesus was born in 753 because the city of Rome is said to have been founded 753 years before the year of his birth. So if we stick to this calendar, we are in 2755 Roman time. Year 2023. Some people at that time calculated the time according to the years a particular king or emperor reigned. Luke 3 verse 1. In the 15th year of the reign of Emperor Tiberius, Pontius Pilate was the ruler in Judea. Philip his brother was king in Iturea and Trachonitis. Lysanias was king in Abilene. John's ministry is said to have begun in the 15th year of Emperor Tiberius. In the Middle Ages, the Christian calendar was introduced using the birth of Jesus as the 0 point. When calculations were made and calendars produced and distributed, it was noted that an error had been made and the date of Jesus' birth was approximately 4 years before the 0 date they had previously calculated. As all was done, they left him alone. This is why, when determining the calendar date of Jesus' birth, scholars tell us that he was born in 4 BC. We also know that he died when he was 33 years old. Luke 3 verse 23 says he was 30 years old when he began his ministry. As you review the events of his ministry, you see that he lived through the 3 annual Easter observances and died during the 4th. If he was born around 4 BC and died at 33, that would mean the calendar date of his death would be about 29 AD, so Pentecost was in 29 AD. The churches whose foundation says, "This church was founded in 33 AD," have the right doctrine and spirit, but they have the wrong dates. Even by New Testament standards, 33 is too young to die. The normal lifespan is about 50 to 55 years at that time. When studying the life of Jesus, we can divide it into 7 main periods. 1. Childhood of Jesus, 0 to 12 years. It includes the events and prophecies leading up to his birth and what little information we have about his childhood. There have been many books written about this time that show Jesus performing miracles, carrying wood for Joseph, or living with the desert monks, Essenes, where he was trained, but these are based on fables and stories circulating about his life in the later years. Beginning. The only information that God revealed about his childhood is limited and contained in passages from Matthew and Luke. 2. Inauguration of Jesus' public ministry. At the age of 30, Jesus left his life of obscurity in Nazareth and Capernaum in the north, and traveled south to begin his public ministry. This debut is spectacular, and includes his encounter with John the Baptist. 3. The public ministry of Jesus from the first to the second Passover. Most of the information for this period is found in the book of John. Jesus did most of his ministry in Jerusalem and departed for the north. 4. The public ministry of Jesus from the second to the third Easter. 36 events make up this section, with most of the action taking place in Galilee, the northern part of the country where Jesus was originally raised. 5. Ministry from the third Easter to the beginning of the last Easter Sunday. This is the longest passage in the New Testament. There are 61 events mentioned in this period, and all 4 authors describe them in detail. All this time we see Jesus going back and forth from the northwest to the southern capital city of Jerusalem. This section also describes several stopovers along the way where Jesus carried out his ministry, walking back and forth with the disciples accompanying him on the road.
6. The last week of Easter ends with the crucifixion. We'll go through this section giving you day-by-day events as they happen. According to our current calendar, it will be Sunday, April 2nd through Saturday, April 7th, his last day in the grave. 7. Resurrection, appearance, and ascension. In addition to his ascension before the apostles, the Bible counts 10 separate appearances to more than 540 people in 40 days. We will discuss this in our research. With the completion of our studies, we hope that the ministry, life, and work of Jesus will become more tangible and better understood as historical events than just a collection of teachings found in every book. I will try to concentrate on one incident or teaching to provide a message of hope or draw a lesson from each chapter. Lesson. In this chapter we do not look at any one event, but rather at a general description of the movement and work of Jesus. However, even this brief review provides some important lessons. 1. There is a method. When you read the Bible, you don't immediately see the pattern of his moves, but there must have been a well-laid plan. Early year at home with family. Announcement of his ministry in the southern capital where John was, together with the Jewish leaders and most of the population. Returning north to actually begin his teaching and miracles for his own family, recruiting his own neighbors as disciples. Returned to Jerusalem to expand his ministry after it was established. Spending time in the north and after being rejected and hunted down by the leaders in the capital. The final appearance in Jerusalem that results in his death and resurrection. The church started in Jerusalem and spread. 2. Movement based on prophecy. The fact that he was born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth is mentioned in the prophets, Micah 5:2, Matthew 2:23 respectively. Jesus himself mentioned that he did the will of the Father. The Holy Spirit moved him to go into the wilderness to be tempted. He did not go to Jerusalem until that time was fulfilled. So we don't see senseless wanderings, but rather well-organized ministries that are timed at certain places at certain periods based on God's words in the prophets and his will during the period when Jesus was physically on earth. 3. Small area, big impact. Jesus covered a corridor about 100 miles long and 60 miles wide in his 3-year ministry. See the impact more than 2,000 years later. When we think we can do little for Christ out of our small town or our meager resources, remember how much comes from so little. If God directs our work and efforts, we can influence the world for Christ from where we live. Let's keep his values together in our daily actions. Let's embrace generosity, comfort the sad, and help the needy. His story is powerful proof that love can change the world. Every time we share love with others, we are spreading his eternal footprint. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey. May you continue to be inspired by the ministry of Jesus and be a lamp to this world. Together, let us bring the light of his love to every corner of the earth, because every second is an opportunity to spread hope and kindness. Goodbye, and be at peace always in his love.